What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As some of you know, I recently did a video on Chainlink, which is a blockchain-based oracle project. I felt like it was a pretty interesting topic and I wanted to do more research on oracles themselves, so I decided to make a Crypto 101 video on it. Not to mention, it's been quite a while since I've made one of these videos regardless. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone to go join my Discord server if you haven't, and also if you want to support the channel, you can do so by becoming one of my patrons. I'm going to leave all the links that are very important down below in the description. My usual disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, this is not financial advice. Please always do your own research. All right, let's get into it. What are blockchain oracles? Well, blockchain oracles sounds kind of like something from ancient Greek mythology, and in a way, they function in a similar role. In ancient stories, people who didn't have enough information to make decisions turned to oracles in the form of people for information beyond their understanding. The term oracle comes from the Latin verb orare, which was used in ancient times to refer to a person or a group that connected the gods to the people. For the purpose of this video, though, an oracle is better defined as a translator of information provided by an outside platform. Blockchain-based projects like Bitcoin and Ethereum do not have the capability to access information that is not on their existing blockchains, so there's no direct way to validate any information. Oracles provide the necessary data to trigger smart contracts to execute when the original terms of the contract are met. These conditions could be anything associated with smart contracts: temperature, payment completion, price, all kinds of stuff. These oracles are the only way for smart contracts to interact with data outside the blockchain environment. Let's use a hypothetical situation to better explain. Consider that Wendy and Joe initiate a bet on what the temperature would be on Sunday afternoon. Wendy believes that the temperature is going to be 51 degrees or above, and Joe believes that the temperature is going to be 50 degrees or below. They design a smart contract, which they will both send funds to, that pays out the winner depending on what the temperature is. In order for the smart contract to determine the temperature and thus pay out the winner, it must obtain information from the weather from a trusted source or an oracle. After using a local news website for the weather, a temperature reading of 52 on Sunday is reported back, and the smart contract then executes on its conditions and sends all its funds to Wendy. A weak point of oracles is that they require trust. The sources that they receive their data from must be seen as credible. So let's say Wendy somehow knew someone in the weather station and was able to have them change the temperature reading on the website in her favor. This would be an example of fraudulent data. To solve this problem, the smart contract should request data from multiple oracles instead of just relying on one centralized one. Blockchain oracles come in many shapes and sizes, such as software oracles, hardware oracles, inbound, outbound, and consensus-based oracles. Software oracles usually deal with information that's online and easily accessible, such as websites or public databases. They provide information like temperature, public transport information, and maybe the price of financial assets. Software oracles are super important because of their connection to the internet and their ability to supply the most up-to-date information for smart contracts. Hardware oracles are sensors that are placed in physical objects. So, for example, the use of an RFID tag in a supply chain tracking. Once the item arrives at a specific warehouse or is moved or scanned or whatever, that information will then be sent to the smart contract, facilitating the tracking of goods along a supply chain. Inbound oracles. This form of an oracle has the function of simply supplying data to a smart contract. This data is external to the smart contract, and once it receives the info, it will facilitate the smart contract to execute. An example of this would be the website I mentioned before or earlier that was supplying the temperature reading for the two people's bets. And an outbound oracle does the opposite. It supplies the smart contract data to an external source. To use the example from above once more, Wendy was identified as the winner of the bet, right? So the smart contract can update the wallet provider in order to automatically update her balance to show the increase in funds. In this instance, the smart contract itself is operating as an outbound oracle. And finally, consensus or prediction-based oracles. These oracles gather information from numerous locations, and they are perfect for monitoring financial markets where using one source of data could be unreliable. Currently, there's several companies and projects developing oracles, Chainlink being one of them that I covered recently and I mentioned before, and also Blocksense and Oracleize. There's also non-crypto related companies like IBM and Microsoft that are developing oracles as well. All in all, oracles serve a very important role in helping to streamline the adoption of blockchain technology. For blockchains to have a sustainable impact in practical applications in various industries, they're going to need to be able to interface accurately and reliably with real-world data. Being able to link the outside occurrences to a blockchain in a seamless and trusted manner is huge. It's going to open up all kinds of use cases for blockchain technology and smart contracts to be pretty much limitless. All right, guys, that wraps it up for me today. If you have any comments, you got any questions, leave them down below in the comments section. I hope you liked my Crypto 101 video on oracles, and as always, thanks for supporting the channel. Hey there! If you enjoyed my Crypto 101 video, then you should go check out my Crypto 101 playlist, or, really any playlist for that matter. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching the channel, everyone.